All right, so before we actually get started on work, we're going to calculate your semester grades. And what I mean by that is you're going to calculate what you need to make on this third 6 weeks to pass the semester. So to get a C, to get a B in this class for the semester, and then to get an A in this class for the semester. Usually we have final exams, so we have to factor in a little bit more. But since there's no final exams this semester, we're just using your 3 6 weeks grades. Alright, so if you are one of the in-person kids, you got a progress report today. It has your cycle 1 or first 6 weeks, your cycle 2, second 6 weeks, and then it has your current cycle 3 or third 6 weeks grade on it. If you're one of the virtual kids or quarantine kids, you'll need to look on Skyward and grab the grades from there. So what you do need to know is what you need for a C, a B, and an A. So in order to get a C for the semester or pass the semester, all 3 of your 6 weeks have to add up to 210. To get a B for the semester, your 6 weeks grade have to add up to a 240. And then finally, to get an A for the semester, they have to at least add up to a 270. So what that means is that's the minimum you need for that grade. If it's above that, so like if it's between a 210 and 239, it's still a C for the semester, but it could be a higher C than just a 70. So you're going to calculate all 3 of these with me as I go through this video. Make sure you're using that progress report. Your sub will pause this in between each one so that you have time to do it. So in order to get a C, remember I told you, you had all your 6 weeks grades needed to be adding up to 210. So what that means is we're going to take that cycle 1 or the first 6 weeks. We're going to add it to the cycle 2 or the second 6 weeks. And then finally, we would add it to the cycle 3, but that's what we're going to be solving for in this equation. We need to see what you need to have bare minimum. So I'm going to have an example student over here. Let's say the first 6 weeks, they got a 73. The second 6 weeks, they got an 85. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your cycle 1 and cycle 2, and you're going to plug it into this. So I have 210 is equal to, this student's cycle 1 grade is a 73 plus their cycle 2 grade is an 85, and like I said, that cycle 3 is what we're trying to find. So I'm going to combine my like terms, of course, on the right, it is an equation. 73 plus 85 leaves me with 158 plus cycle 3. And then I'm just going to subtract the two numbers, 210 minus 158, and that gives me 52 for cycle 3. So in order for this student to pass the semester in geometry, they have to get at least a 52 the third 6 weeks, and that's just with a 70. So we're going to use the same example for a student for getting a B. And you're going to do the same thing for yours. So instead of 210, we're going to set it equal to 240. And again, you have your cycle 1 plus your cycle 2. And then finally that cycle 3, which is what we're finding. Remember, this student got a 73 for the first 6 weeks, and 85 for the second, and then we're finding that cycle 3. I already did the adding together in the last one, so you have 158 plus cycle 3, and remember it's still equal to 240. So in order for this student to get a B for the semester, I'm going to subtract 240 minus 158, and that leaves me with an 82. So that means that this student has to get an 82 for the third 6 weeks to get an 80 for the semester in this class. And then the last one we're going to do is for an A. Remember, we set this one equal to 270. So you have cycle 1 plus cycle 2. It's all the same stuff again. In place of cycle 1, we have 73. Cycle 2 is an 85. And then again, we're finding that cycle 3. And remember, when I combine my like terms, I got 158. So my last step to figure out what this student needs to get an A for the semester is to subtract 270 minus 158. When I do that, I end up with a 112 for the third 6 weeks. Now, that is not possible for a 6 weeks grade. The highest grade you can get in a class is 100. So what that means is a student, the highest they could get is a B for the semester. Now, if your third 6 weeks grade for an A is less than 100, that means you still have that chance to get an A in the class. What you do need to be careful of is that if you did not take care of business and you're passing one, your cycle 3 for passing is over 100, that technically means no, you're not going to pass the semester. What that doesn't mean, though, is that you just give up. What happens is that you may fail the first semester. And if you give up and you decide you're going to fail the first semester with a 50, that's on you. But what we do to give you credit is we actually average the fall and the spring semesters together. So if you fail the first semester with a 50, that means the second semester you have to pass with a 90 in order to just cancel out and get credit. Now, if you push through the third 6 weeks, come into tutorials, make your corrections on tests, make your corrections on minor grades, and let's say you fail the semester with a 65, a 67. That means if you fail with a 65 in the fall, for the spring semester, your average just has to be a 75. So with that in mind, calculate what you need to get the C, the B, and the A if you didn't with the video. And remember, your last major grade in here is on Thursday. It's a congruent triangles test. If you do not know what's going on in class, you need to come to tutorials. They are posted on the board. You'll have to come to room 503 though.